When I was looking for treadmills, I came across a treadmill that was made by Icon Fitness. So I sent the CEO a message. It's feeding back. I sent the CEO a message to say, look, I'm trying to buy one of your treadmills, but nobody's responding. I'm not getting any reply. I'm struggling to order this unit. So I said, you know what? Forget that manufacturer. I'll go somewhere else. And I looked for another one. I looked for an alternative, and I found ProForm. I managed to order it fairly straightforwardly. It seemed like a good deal. Paid for it, bought it. Then when it arrived and I assembled it, the left arm, which you hold, wouldn't fit properly. So, I took it apart several times. Then I took the front off again because I noticed from the other side that the top can have a bearing on how the handle fits. So I took the top out, leveled it up again, checked with the other side. Anyway, cut a long story short, I tried everything possible and it still wouldn't fit. This is when I started running into difficulties. When I called ProForm, they said, go back to our distributor who you bought it from. So I tried to call the distributor. And by the way, I questioned. I said, look, why? Because it says, I've got a big notice here saying, stop. Do not call the distributor. Call us. It's a warranty problem, and I'm doing as you're asking me. Call this number, and they said, no, go back to the other person. So I went back to the other person, went back, tried, couldn't get any response. I put a stop on my PayPal, put a stop on my credit card. And as soon as you put a stop on the payment, people start phoning you up. And I said, look, why do I have to go to that extent before I get a response? Do I have to threaten and actually stop payment before somebody calls me? Eventually, after begging and pleading with ProForm that, look, the distributor is really not helping and said they cannot help, it's a warranty problem, I have to call you, several phone calls, eventually they sent an engineer out. The engineer came, he took it about same 3 or 4 times, and he gave up. He got it a little bit better, but still there's a crack in between the two plastic bits that go together. And every time, if you put your arm, you're not supposed to hold the rails when you're walking or jogging, but if you do, it pinches your skin, the two plastic bits. It pinches your skin, and it leaves a little bruise after, So anyway, I went back after I stopped my credit card payment, I went back to the distributor, and I said to the distributor, look, I have no choice but to accept this as it is. Because for me to get any further, get it exchanged, refunded, is just a nightmare. She goes, look, the best I can do if you tell your credit card company to honor the payment is I'll give you $200 off. And I said, I'd rather, even if you gave me $400 off, I'd rather fix my machine. But really, if that's my only choice, is $200 or nothing, then, I'll take it, but it's sad, and I started leaving bad reviews. So then, a week later, the whole machine stops working. The screen, the brains, it doesn't work. Again, to cut a long story short, I don't want to go through the whole drama, but going backwards and forwards, calling the distributor, calling ProForm, being bounced about left, right, and center. They sent me a spare. A week later, the engineer came back again. By the way, the engineer, when he moved the machine, I have a nice rug underneath it. He didn't even put it back properly, even though I gave him a nice little tip. So, my wife and I had to pick up the machine, and it's heavy and sweat and whatever, put it all back to. So this time when he came, I said, bro, if you're going to move it, please, 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 I beg you, because it's a struggle for my wife and I to lift this machine and correct the rug. Just correct the rug. They still didn't correct the rug, but anyway. So he went through everything, changed the part, it still wasn't working. And then he called them. He was there for like about an hour and a half, 2 hours maybe, calling technical support. And they eventually, going through the troubleshooting, realized that it wasn't the part. And that during a software update, the internet must have got interrupted and the software crashed. It didn't update. And so he fixed it. So that was just at the weekend. I think that was Friday. That was at Friday. So now we have a working machine, but we still have that crack. In amongst all this, I forgot to tell you that when I tried to find out who the CEO is, it went back to Icon Fitness. Both of these companies, both of these treadmills, competing treadmills on the market, belong to the same company, Icon Fitness. They own pretty much all of the treadmills out there. So whatever treadmill you buy, you can end up buying an Icon Fitness treadmill. You know, and that's probably why, you know, they got monopoly over everything. And you know what it's like when you got a monopoly, nobody cares. You know, they just... So I've never heard back from the CEO, and here I am, just really want to warn people that, you know, please, please, please don't spend $2,000 on a machine like I did, because the service is terrible. You know, we all get a lemon product every once in a while. It happens. 1% of production is going to be one of those that you just, which is okay. It's life. Shit happens. But as long as somebody's at the other end to say, look, don't worry, we're a good company, we're a responsible company, you've paid good money, and we're here to fix it, that's all we want. Is when you've gone through a headache, fix it. But so here I am with the machine. They won't change it, they won't fix it, they can't fix it. It's a lemon, it's take it or leave it attitude. I'm just tired.